Shalom. I'm going to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of the great millstone who well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, real quick, I just want to show this little trailer for this movie called All right, Esau. I found it very interesting that they would make a movie with this title, seeing as the true descendants of Esau that love to hide from that name. They don't really like to claim that name too much. But with this film, in which I don't know if it has if it's been released, or if they have a future release date. But it's just interesting nevertheless, because we know Esau, he does a lot of things subtly, and maybe he can be making a statement with this. All right, this is pretty revealing if you ask me. All right, but anyway, there's a 2-minute trailer, and matter of fact, I'll just play the video, and then I'll just say a few words, and get a couple scriptures and close out. But I just thought that I'll share this, in case you never seen it. The title of this movie is Esau. All right, and this is a name that Esau needs to get used to embracing, because the Bible prophecy already said that you would be still here on the earth and in power. All right, you will be over the nations during the last days. All right, so it's time for y'all to start embracing your true identity of who you come from. All right, this is the name of your paternal ancestor. So without further ado, let me play the video.
What do you have in America?
My house by the ocean, my books, my friends.
You got nothing.
Everybody calls me a writer, but a writer writes about people, and all I can write about is bread. Fortunately, people like bread. I hope you enjoy it. How is Avram? Is he okay?
He's dying. Not fast enough, though.
Please come.
It's your first time in Israel?
Yes.
Here we are. We already have a bakery. Long live the Levy family.
Dad, this is your son. He's gonna take care of you from now on. I'm done.
You have no damn idea what our lives been like in the last 30 years.
You really think I'm beautiful?
Most beautiful girl I know.
You feel this sour smell? It's the dough starting to rise. Nothing can stop it now.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Everything in the world is a result of a broken chain of cause and effect.
You don't know what love is.
Tell me, why didn't you come? This is your land, your home. Stay, and everything will be yours. So it wasn't a dream. You are really here.
Very interesting, right? And here's the little brief synopsis. Our writer Lior Ashkenazi, in which if you know about that group of so-called Jewish people, these people, we all know for sure, they descend from the Khazarian Empire, and which the word Khazar means wanderer. All right, and they took this name Kanaz or Ashkenaz from one of the sons of Japhet. All right, in which it's an oxymoron to be called Ashkenazi and to be Jewish at the same time, because Ashkenaz was a descendant of Japhet. All right, to be a Judite, you have to descend from Judah, which he came from Israel, which Israel descend from Shem. All right, so you know, anytime you see a Ashkenazi, you know, then you should know this fact that to be called an Ashkenazi and to be a so-called Jew, that's an oxymoron. But anyway, it was the name of the writer of the film. It says returns to the family home in Israel to care for his ailing father and must face his embittered younger brother who assumed all the responsibility for their family bakery and married the woman whom they both loved. All right. And you saw, everybody that was in this film were all Amalekites, our so-called Jewish people. All right. And the fact that they titled this Esau, you know, that's pretty telling, because that's really who they truly are. They're really descendants of Esau, you know. So it's like, are they subtly putting it in your face that they know that they're Esau, that they go back to Aisha, which means wasted away. With this ministry, pushing the word out, the truth. I mean, it's becoming uh, common knowledge now, who these people are. You even had, video that multiple brothers are posting how, there's one teenage Edomite was on the phone, pretty much telling the truth. You know, he was basically coming clean, right on camera, man. He know that they're gonna be destroyed, that they got doom to pay, and he accepts his judgment. You know, so hey, he's facing it like a man, like he know what he got coming to him. He's embracing his true identity. But back to this trailer. I just found that interesting, man. So a so-called J, all right, or a cast of so-called J's in a film called Esau, and then tying it in with the Jewish Encyclopedia that basically tells you that the modern Jewry is Edom. I believe it's in the fifth volume, the 41st page. It literally says that, so they know who they are. And then, of course, according to prophecy, scripture, it tells you how in the last in the land of Israel, Idumea will have it in possession. And even in this film, you see that they were they went back to the land of Israel. You know, so Esau is currently in the land of Israel. All right, and let's go to Ezekiel 36 real quick. This is Ezekiel 36. I'll read. I'll start at the top. It says, "Also, thou son of man, prophesy to the mountains of Israel, and say, You mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord." He's talking about the land. "Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession." You got different heathen nations that are over there currently. You got Ishmael over there. They think that that land belongs to them. You got Amalek, which is the head or the basically the chief group of Edomites that are over there pretending to be us. You know, they're calling themselves Ashkenazi and different other types. Hasidic or whatever, right? So they have our land in possession. You got Cush over there, them Falashas. So there's a bunch of heathens that basically took on the ancient custom, and they speak a little dialect of Hebrew, and they're calling themselves Jews. And we know that the real people of the Lord, they're scattered. They're scattered amongst all nations. You know, it tells you how we wouldn't be regarded, we wouldn't be reckoned among the nations, and that was part of the conspiracy, to hide, who we were, pursuant to Psalms the 83rd chapter, and they were all confederate. They were all part of that conspiracy together. But now in this day where the Lord is, putting that breath back into us, and now we're becoming a living a nation. You can't hide that anymore. We've woken up, and the nation see is waking up, and so some of them, they have no choice but to admit, that we are those people, you know. But anyway, continuing on, it says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and you are taken up in the lip of talkers and are an infamy of the people. Yeah, we're a reproach. Like the curse say, we will be as a astonishment, a proverb, and a byword amongst all the people. You know. Anyway, it says, verse 4 says, therefore, you mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power to the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, to the valleys, and to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which I have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right, and to this very day, the land is trodden down of the Gentiles, in which, Amalek, which makes up Idumea in the land, they're the ones that are there currently, and they're the ones that, pretty much uh control, you know, uh the world, from the monetary system to, the entertainment world, the educational system. They control all that, man. All right. And I'm pretty sure, you know, to even admit this and bring this out as a fact will be considered what they call anti-Semitic, in which, they'll find a way to, flag this video. But hey, you know, I'm just in the spirit right now, but I'm just going off of this movie trailer. The fact that, you got these Amalekites, all right, these Idumeans, but they call themselves Jewish today in a movie called Esau, and they happen to be in the Holy Land. Because you're right, Esau is in the Holy Land. That's who these people are. They descendants of Esau. You know, so that's why I'm wondering, did they make this to, make a subtle statement that they know that they're these people? I don't know, but it's interesting nevertheless. All right, but anyway, so basically, according to prophecy, Idumea would have the land in their possession. Now, Idumea is Greek. All right, we know the original word there would be Adawam, which is Edom. Idumea is just an anachronism, for Edom, because that's what the Greeks and the Romans, that's what they called the Edomite converts. They called them Idumeans. Okay, so that's why that word is actually used. But it's still, because them same people, they have that history. Going back to when you had during the time of the Hasmonean dynasty, when you had John Hyrcanus, who basically forcibly converted them, you know, and from that point on, they took on our identity, and that's where what stemmed from that was the Herodian dynasty, Herod and their descendants, man. All right, and you got a lot of pseudo scholar Christians now still claim to this day that Esau or Edom is done away with. But as far as we can see, according to prophecy, they're still here. Okay. And matter of fact, they're telling you right here, subtly, which I believe that could be the case. A bunch of Idumeans in a film called Esau. Come on, man. But anyway, I mean, the clues is already there, man. All you got to do is just understand prophecy. All right, it tells you how Amalek would be the first of the nations, which when it means to be first, it means to be the head. It means to be chief over everyone. So they're the highest ruling class Edomites on the earth. That's why, everywhere you go, they're at the top, running shit and owning shit, man. Always lending to you, you see? And then, of course, according to Second Esdras, the sixth chapter, it tells you who's the end of this age. Who will be ruling at the end of this time period. Second Esdras 6 and verse 7, it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, which that was that literally happened in the womb, but it was a, a figuration of basically how Esau is going to be at the top, but Jacob is going to pull Esau down. Esau is going to be brought down from his position so that Jacob can assume his rightful position. Because Jacob is supposed to be at the top. He's supposed to be in rulership. But going back to the beginning, when Isaac blessed Esau on his deathbed, he promised that Esau would have the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. So basically he would get dominion at one point. And Esau, he's had dominion on the earth longer than any other nation. So yeah, it's just about time for him to bring his ass down because the earth is terminally injured from his rulership. The state of the people, man, everybody's in mourning, everybody's in uproar. The earth finally needs a rest, man, because this devil, he's done way too much. So he has to be brought down. So it says, for Esau is the end of the world, all right, the end of the Ion, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So Esau will be at the top, all right, when the end comes. Now, a lot of these Christians and these pseudo scholars, they never like to deal with this. That's not divinely inspired. Oh, why? Because it's telling directly who you are. All right. That's you. And we at the end of your world as we speak. All right. And let me go from there to it the 11th chapter? I think 11th or the 12th chapter. Let me go to. I think it's 11. All right, I think it's yeah. Second Ezra's 11 and verse 36, and it says, Then I heard a voice which saith unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and because it tells you in Obadiah that he would exalt himself as the eagle, and that's the fourth beast that Daniel saw. Okay, and that is his symbol. The post office symbol, the back of your quarter, the back of the dollar. Okay, he exalt himself as the eagle, and saith, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? So the end of the times is going to come through the eagle, okay, or the dragon, okay, or the beast having 7 heads and 10 horns. It's all the same. It's all interchangeable. Okay, the devil, the dragon, Satan, or that old serpent. It's all the same entity. Esau, him in power. And it says, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past. And you had the Babylonians, you had the Medo-Persians, you had the Greeks and the Romans, which was all E. Okay, and of course, that deadly wound was killed, and that same beast resurfaced in the form of NATO and the EU today. And then of course America stemmed out of that, and now it rise the beast, and that's the beast in his latest form. All right, just tearing up the earth, turning the whole world into a dystopia, man. All right, and that's why the Lord's gonna come back with the with a dome shot, man. All right. It says, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And hey, right now we're dealing with that. All right, this whole crown 19 situation is just nothing. It's just means for wicked oppression, for them to control you, to psychologically manipulate you, keep you in fear. You know, and that's what's going on. That it took your wealth. They got you starving. Well, they just basically pocketed all the money that they took from you. Gonna starve you out. And this is what we dealing with, man. The prophecy it speaks. It says, "And so a long time doth he upon the earth with deceit," because that's all he does is lie. Or the wicked are estranged from the womb as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. Their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. That's all they did. Even when they came back into power, during the Renaissance period, it tells you in Revelation 20 how they would come out of the bottomless pit, and they would basically deceive the whole world. They would deceive the earth, deceive all the nations, man. They would put that covering cast, that veil over the people, and that's why the whole earth is under gross darkness. But now it's being peeled back because the Lord got his men out there, okay, shining that light to you. Verse 41, it says, For the earth has thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, because hey, the pride of your heart have deceived you, man. You know, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. Okay, meaning what? The Lord is about ready to put that sickle in, man, because the wickedness is great. Your sins did reached unto heaven. It says, and therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, that she may have hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. All right, and that's, hey, we waiting on that, man. We wait for this earth to get its strength back, because it's mourning and fading away under the inhabitants thereof. All right, so the earth is going to be refreshed when this devil goes down, and that hasn't happened yet. The earth is still suffering. All right, and we're still, suffering violence, at the hand of this devil. You know, haven't been reparated for it or anything yet. We're still in this devil's hand. All right, but these are all clues, man. All you got to do is just go into prophecy. Now, this is ultimately talking about the Roman Empire, but we know that beast would come back, and we're living at the last end of it right now. All right, so you know this definitely inspired me to just put this on and hit the record button and just do a lesson, because this was very interesting, man. A bunch of Edomites in a film called Esau, which of course, they still, believe that they're, Judites. Well, really, they're descendants of Esau. All right, Esau. Hey, it's time for you to just tell the truth, man, because the world they're already coming to the conclusion, man. They already see it. All right, you are an Edomite. You're Esau, and there's nothing good coming for you, nothing but judgment. All right, you can't hide yourself. It's time for you to embrace your true heritage, your true name. Stop hiding behind everybody else's name. Anyway, I'm gonna end it right there. I could have went. This could have been a long video because there's plenty of precepts. Just to get on Esau, man. Romans 9 and 13. We always bring that out about how the Most High hates him. You know, and hey, man. You know, the Lord's gonna show His hatred towards them. On the day of judgment, and following after that into the kingdom where the Lord's gonna. He said He's gonna basically get vengeance on Esau by the hand of His people Israel. And He said that we're gonna do according to His anger and His fury, man. You know. But anyway, I'm gonna end off right there. Lord willing, this was edifying. We give all praises to Yahweh Shai. Until the next lesson, Shalom.